Good morning, Griffin, Indiana. It is late summer, and we've got ourselves a contract job. This isn't like any other contract job we've done here in the series. Got a job for this guy. He wants us to basically mow his field, bale it up, and get rid of the bales. And, well, we're going to be much obliged to help him out. But before that, this video is brought to you by Gizmo UK. Thank you for being a farm baron. So we've got a contract over here to do field 35 to basically mow, bale, wrap, and sell silage bales. Now, the hardest part about this contract is going to be, well, that's field 35. So it's going to be finding the map border or the field border and working within that. So I think this shrubbery line is basically going to be the land border. Now, one thing I do hope for is that in FS22 there's a bit better definition of where land boundaries are, because it's really annoying when you are right here at the edge of a property and you get this, you don't have access to this land. Oh, well, okay. I didn't realize I didn't have access to this land. If you would please stop putting that message up. See, but why do I not have that? Why? The property border seems to continue on to the bottom of this pond. Why do I suddenly not have access to this land? What makes me not have access to this land? So I really wish that there would be some sort of you could toggle some sort of visual indicator to help you establish, because again, I should have access to this land, but I don't. It's going to be a bit of poking around, trying to figure out where things start and stop. Going around this tree border. South of this tree border. Let's shoot across this way. Try to shoot directly across this way. Alright, so that seems to be the upper edge. Yeah, it's the biggest thing is in 22. It would be really awesome if they refined how the land borders are specified, so that you can easily tell where the land starts and stops. But it's great. We're going to go ahead and work on getting this guy's field mowed. And work on, I guess we've pretty much drawn out the outside edge here. We're going to get it raked up, baled up and transported. And we'll see what kind of bales we have left that we're going to keep, because we're also going to be mowing up our own grass today. Our grass did indeed grow overnight, so our grass is at 2/3 growth, which is where we wanted it to be in order to make our cut. It's late summer. We are getting our first cut of the season, so we're not going to be like last year where we got a couple good cuts. We're only going to get one cut off of our grass this year, so we need to make it count. And for that, we're going to go ahead and bale them up and wrap them up as silage bales, because tomorrow is the first day of autumn. There is rain in the forecast for tomorrow. We don't know if we're going to be able to, if our beans are going to be ready in time, or if we're going to have to wait until mid-autumn. Mid-autumn has really good weather. No rain in sight for mid-autumn, but we do have rain again in the forecast for late autumn. So right now I'm kind of targeting mid-autumn as being the harvest period for our beans. Hopefully we'll be able to get double crop again this year, because that worked out so well for us last year. See our bank account balance. I did go ahead and do 3 or 4 fertilizing contracts yesterday evening after we left the video recording. That way I could pad the bank account just a little bit more. Basically made up for those leasing costs of leasing the herbicide sprayer and buying the extra herbicide. But yeah, it's hard to believe. Hard to believe he's going to pay me $8,000 to get this small section of grass. It's a lot smaller than the land is. I'm a little worried now that maybe we're not going to get enough bales off of this, based on some weird land area definition. You can see the area that we're working here. We're working just a small subset of the field. We don't get access to any of this over here, and we're not getting access to some of this up here either. So what are your all's thoughts on the podcast that was released on last Friday? We all had a chance to listen to that. Seems we got a little bit of a tease related to the Elm Creek map. Indeed, it sounds like there is a corn maze, a maze of some sort, at least. During the podcast, there was a reference. Basically, have you found the maze on Elm Creek? The answer was yes, indeed I had. And I had thought I had saw a corn maze on one of the Elm Creek release videos, or release screenshots. They were showing a screenshot from a tower, like an observation tower, and down in the lower right corner it looked what could have been a corn maze, or a maze of some sort. I just likened it to a corn maze because, well, those are rather popular here in the U.S. in the fall, to walk around through a corn maze, typically in the fall, close to Halloween time frame. So I'd suggest, if you hadn't got a chance to listen to that podcast, go check that out, Giant's website. Sounds like they're going to be kicking the podcast back up, which previously were on an every other week release. So hopefully we'll see the next podcast released on September 17th. Now I went ahead and mowed my grass, and we're over here raking my grass up before we'll go rake up the contract grass. I thought I'd do this because of the concern that I had with respect to the amount of grass I was able to cut over there, based on the area. The square that was the viable area was a lot bigger than the square that had, or where I was able to cut the grass. So I was thinking, you know, if we go and sell or transport all of those wrapped bales that we get off of that field, and we still don't qualify the contract, then I'm going to need some wrapped grass bales to transport down there. And I might as well just kind of mow my grass while I'm at it. So that's what we're doing. We've mowed the grass. Again, this whole section was 2/3 growth. And the section on the other side of the fence there was 100% growth because we didn't have a chance to cut that last fall. So it grew back properly, whereas the grass that we cut here, for whatever reason, seemed to be stunted and took a while to start growing back. Also cut the grass across the street. Let's see if we can't see it from here. Not really, but I cut the grass across the street there, just below the farm. So I'm going to continue raking this up, and I'll meet you over at the other guy's field. See how much that is, and see how well that gets raked up as far as windrows. These windrows aren't huge. You see them right there. They're not super huge, so I don't expect a ton of bales off of this field, but any bales we get will be just extra profit. So these windrows are definitely a bit thicker than those over at our field, but still, I'm really worried. I said that we are going to be running short on however many bales it is expecting us to deliver. You can see our windrows are a bit thicker than the ones over at our other field. Of course, this grass was at full growth, whereas our grass was at 2/3 growth. So it's only to be expected. And from the thumbnail, if y'all didn't know about this little pond over here, that's the little pond that's in the thumbnail. There's a nice little picnic table over there, some lounge chairs, a little beach. And there's another little picnic table with a stack of firewood and a little fire going on over there. Now, when this map came out, it was rumored that there was a Bigfoot, a Sasquatch, if you will, roaming the woods. Maybe that's the Sasquatch that set that campfire up and is keeping it going. Anybody ever find that Sasquatch? Was it all just a big bit of hype, or did anybody actually ever find it? Let me know down in the comments. And it comes time to collect our wrapped grass. We're going to send it down to the sell point and see how much it's going to take to complete the contract. Now, we got a fair number of bales off of this field, I have to say. But again, the land is supposed to extend over to the tree line there, or extend to the other side of the pond at least. Okay, so it's supposed to extend over to the other side of the pond, but it doesn't let us cut over there, and we couldn't collect that grass there that was cut, so we'll see. We'll have to see after we send these 24 bales over to the sell point. But interesting enough, another baling contract has come up, and that is to do field 34, which is this area over here. So up to the tree line, basically, and then over to those trees across there, down to the hedgerow that we were able to cut to. Significantly more grass in this area over here, and they want $17,600 or some dollars for that contract. We're getting, I think, 8,800 bucks for this contract. I don't have any real intention of doing that other contract, not at least now. Maybe it's something we might pick up in another year or something, but overall we got a pretty good load here. We're gonna get 1 and a partial loads off of this field. Once we unload these bales, we'll get a percentage and have a general idea of how many more bales we need to haul. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have basically 10 more bales. Oops. Port unloading. And yeah, since I accidentally hit unload, I can't fold up my sidearm now. Yippee for me. This is a nice little shortcut. We didn't know about it. We come here between these two trees, loop around to this road, and then straight on into town. See our windrow grass over there in the distance. If for whatever reason it doesn't let us complete the contract, we'll just bale a little bit of our grass and bring down here to complete it, but hopefully it won't come to that, and we'll have some bales left over that we can keep for our own usage. So let's see. How many bales? What's the percentage you're going to give me delivered? In a perfect world, you're going to say done, and I'll have 10 bales to my own. In a not so perfect world, we'll probably have to deliver maybe 5 or 6 of those. Let's see how it goes. Oh, done. Done, son. Excellent. So we can now collect the rest of those bales, including this bale here. And we'll have 11 silage bales to our own use, meaning we can sell these 11 bales later on. Once they actually convert the silage. Oops. Dag on it, I did it again. Why hit Y when Y is not the button you want to hit? Y is not the button you want to hit. You want to hit B. B is the button to hit, but B is nowhere as close to Y. So why do I hit Y when I want to hit B? Oh. Hopefully you all were able to follow that rant about why. At any rate, I'm just going to go ahead and get up here and take these bales off the field, bring them down here to the silage sell point, and just put them over there off to the side so they are conveniently located close to the sell point, and then it's off to the races, making our own bales, seeing how many bales we get. 1:12 in the afternoon. I think I'll go ahead and I'll bring you back once we are done baling, and I'll give you a good summation of the total number of bales that we were able to get off of our own grass. And then at that point, it will be moving on to early autumn in year 2. just moving along quite nicely. Halfway through the month of September at this point. If we're able to keep this up, we'll do year 3 in October. And that means we should be able to get to mostly through year 4 in November. Probably we'll put a halt on it in autumn because Farming Simulator 22 is coming out, right? Now, of course, this video is coming out on Friday. Fact Sheet Friday has come and gone. What those fact sheets are, I do not know. Just because this video releases on Friday doesn't mean I have the ability to foresee into the future. Because as you can see in the top HUD, I am recording this video well before the second Fact Sheet Friday is released. So let me go ahead and get these bales baled up and bring you back, give you some total of how many bales we made. So we're just about done, and I have to say, we're getting a lot more bales than I had originally intended or thought we would possibly get. Show you a nice little picture of what we got going on here. Take a look at all our pink marshmallows sitting out there in the field. And there's a whole bunch of pink marshmallows across the street, across the fence line. 3:34 in the afternoon. And looking at the weather, we got rain around midnight. Then it's going to clear out sometime overnight, supposedly. Then we got rain tomorrow evening. And then it's supposed to clear out. So the first day of autumn looks like we're going to have rain overnight and rain in the evening. Second day of autumn looks clear. And the forecast is currently saying we're going to have rain on the last day of autumn. So how is that going to ultimately affect our harvest? Well, we really don't know at this point. I think last year our soybeans surprised us and they were ready the first day of autumn. So it could be we're coming back Monday and we're going to be harvesting beans. Could be that beans are ready and they just don't dry out Monday because of the rain. But let's quick look at the forecast. So you see we got rain around midnight. Then it's clearing out. We got plus signs all day long. Then tomorrow evening we've got rain. Saturday, which is mid-autumn, is partly cloudy skies. And then Sunday, which is the last day of autumn, let's get mine back up here, is showing rain and sun. And then winter, 1, 2, and 3 right there. Let's look at the temperatures. Looks like we're going to have frozen ground, midwinter, and late winter. Not predicting any snow at this point. So that would be 2 winters here in Indiana without any snow. Now, let's see how many bales we've got. At this point, we've pretty much baled all of the grass we've got down on the ground, other than little bits here, little bits there. This is the last run. Overall, we tend to get 1 or 2 bales for the run. So our grand total for the day is 138 bales. There you go. So that is pretty impressive for having mostly Grass here that was in 2/3 stage. We had grass across the barn that was in 100% growth. But overall, most of our grass was 2/3 growth. So we'll have 130 some bales, 137 I think, 138-ish. Bales to collect and get rid of probably over winter because, well, that's when, quite frankly, it's the best price. So until next time, everybody, happy farming.